I really want to tell you guys that it's all possible if you have 3 things that I figured out are important to have. Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So if you know me very well, you probably know that I like doing things differently. Like, I don't just do things the way that everyone else does, and that's why I'm calling this YouTube channel the YouTube channel instead of my YouTube channel. I feel like the success of this channel is going to be through you guys. Like, to make this channel and the information through this channel reach the right target and for people to benefit from it, it's through you all and me too. So let's call it that YouTube channel, not my YouTube channel. How about that? So anyways, welcome. I'm so excited about today's video because I really just want to tell you guys how I made it to where I am right now. So where I am is a lot of stuff. I am over here, over there. It's a lot of places, but I really want to explain where I am and like how I got to be here so that you guys get to know who you're talking to. So first of all, feel free to interact with me in the comment section. Feel free to put in any questions and I'll be so happy to answer them, or maybe make a video about all the questions that you guys might have for me. So in as much as I'll be providing tips on how to apply to the US, tips on how to maintain a very good GPA, tips on how to get to medical school, tips on literally doing everything that I learned to do on my own without mentorship. I really want to tell you guys that it's all possible if you have 3 things that I figured out are important to have. So this might be different from person to person, but for the most part, you need to have the zeal. You need to have a goal. You need to have dreams. So if you have the dream, if you have a goal, if you have the zeal, we could call it the zeal or the motivation or the self-drive to just want to achieve something and be where you want to be at, then anything can happen. I'm telling you, because it has happened to me, you all. I have had the zeal, I have had goals, I have had dreams, and it got me where I am right now. So getting more into it, I want you all to know that dreams do come true, you all. I used to have big dreams. I still have big dreams. Like right now, I have a whole list. Every year, dreams, I like write them down because I do have them. Anyways, you'll probably get to see videos of me telling you guys my goal maybe at the beginning of each year or at the beginning of each semester, just so that like someone is motivated out there. At one point, I dreamt to at least have a chance to become a doctor, to at least be the second doctor in my neighborhood. Because growing up, I only knew one doctor in my neighborhood. He lived like 5 houses away, and everyone used to appreciate him for all that he did. And he used to be the only one, and probably like the first, because no one really from where I came from made it to become a doctor who's like well known and who everyone talks about. So I am from a high density suburb, or like a high density ghetto. Hey, if you are from Zim, you know what I'm talking about. I am from a high density suburb or ghetto called Glenview 3 to be specific, in Zimbabwe, Harare. It is a place where people have so much endurance, where people have so much resilience, and they can do anything to make sure that they have a living. That's where I came from. I would go to school in the morning and I would see a lot of people setting up their musikas in Shona, in vernacular, that's my language, which is like just a table outside in the street to sell candy, to sell fruits, to sell vegetables. And they would see me walk to school at 6 a.m. in the morning, and they would probably say hi as my parents or like wish me the best. That's the type of community or society that I grew up from. And then I used to have dreams of wanting to become the second doctor in the society. Probably there's more right now. There's more people that I know from my neighborhood who are trying to become doctors, but I'm proud that I'm on my way. I'm on my journey at this point. I used to go to school with commuter omnibuses. We call them Makombi in Zimbabwe. Makombi, guys, you all know them. The ones that come from Glenview going to Harare, CBD. Yes, Makombi, you all. I used to go to school with those, and I used to go to school with my little brother. I would have him sit on my laps so that we save money and pay for one person, not for two people. And you wouldn't imagine that during that time, I had dreams to one day drive a car. I had dreams to one day fly on the plane. I had dreams to do all these amazing things, but they seemed to be impossible because I had money to just pay for one person, yet we were two, and I had my little brother sitting on my laps. But it's possible. It happened. So when you see me being grateful for being at the airport and about to board a plane for the 18th time, it's because I know where I came from. It's because I had a dream. It's because it's been a long way, and I do understand that each and every person out there has a different story. So if you have a dream, if you have your own story, stick to it, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's what happened to me, and that's why I'm talking about it right now, because even the dreams that I have right now, I want them to come true at some point. I actually flew. My first flight was me going to Ghana, and I didn't pay anything for that. It was all paid. I flew to the US. It was all paid. And you know what? Videos are coming to explain to you how all this happened, because someone out there deserves to also fly and go over the oceans, from whatever country that you're from, for free. So all these opportunities that I got, I am definitely going to share them on this channel, and you all need to know about them, and you can go ahead and try out those opportunities and get some dreams coming true. Dreams and goals really seem like the same thing to me, but honestly, I feel like dreams, it's something that seems like it's not possible, and then a goal, it's something that you know that it's possible and you can work towards it. So I'm gonna give a personal experience of one goal that I had in 6th grade. I think at that point, all we cared about was going to school and being a prefect if you were a prefect in school. But we didn't really care about a lot of things. But I promised my parents that they were never going to have to pay tuition for me. I told them that they had a few years left to pay my tuition. Now, when I went to high school, I didn't know how this was going to happen. I had no idea of how to apply for scholarships. Man, I didn't even know that there are scholarships out there. All I knew was I needed to make my parents stop paying for my tuition, because I had to make it easier for them to pay for my siblings, and I also had to make sure that it's easier for the whole family. It's a long story, but all I did was to promise my parents that I was gonna work on it. When I got to Form 3, which is more like grade 10 at Howard High School, oh, shout out to all Howardians out there, shout out to you all, you all are amazing. Anyways, when I got to Form 3, which is grade 10 at Howard High School, we were at assembly, a school assembly, a meet-up gathering where we have announcements, welcome, starting of the new week, all of those things happening. We got there, and one of our teachers announced that this one girl, she was my senior by then, she was in an upper grade. This one girl had won a Joshua Nkomo scholarship. So when I heard about that, all I knew was to probably write the name down, Joshua Nkomo scholarship. I didn't have internet at school to try and research about it. Even when I came home, I didn't have access to unlimited data to try and research and know what the Joshua Nkomo scholarship was about. But I knew that it was an opportunity out there. So what I did is I called 2 of my friends to go with me to the offices of the organization that gave this Joshua Nkomo scholarships. You guys, we went with Makombi. We went with commuter omnibuses. It was hot. We were sweating. We were squashed. There were 4 people sitting on the seat that we were sitting in, but we were pegged and we were squashed, and it was just bad. It wasn't a good experience. The whole trip to the offices, we all knew that we just wanted to leave the commuter omnibus because it was hot. But I had convinced my friends to come with me because I had a goal. I wanted to make sure my parents stopped paying my tuition. And I didn't want to leave my friends behind, so I went with them. So we got to the offices, they explained to me what the Joshua Nkomo Scholarship was, and they told me that I had to become one of the 3 best female students in the province which my school was located in. So fast forward, I took the final exams and I was the best female student. I was the best female student in the province that my school is in. I had 11 A's. I know that I did work hard, but I really thank God for making that a possibility. And then I ended up getting the Joshua Nkomo Scholarship. That's when I started getting scholarships. It did not stop. I'm definitely going to tell you guys how I made it to get 11 A's, how I even applied for the Joshua Nkomo scholarships in one of my videos. Since then, my parents have never had to pay for my tuition. Right now, I'm in the US. I'm studying pre-medicine, about to go to medical school, and my parents do not pay my tuition. I have a full scholarship, and that's because I did not stop researching about how to get a scholarship, about what's needed, and all that. And I feel like someone out there definitely deserves to know how it all happened. Okay, fast track to where I am, because we are still talking about where I am. I have told you guys about stuff that has happened in my life and how I got to some places and how I had dreams and how I had goals. But I also had self-drive. I also had the motivation. So if you're gonna make something happen, you need to have the self-drive. You need to have the motivation, because trust me, it will take you places. Now, if you look at me, if you get to meet me, I'm a short, tiny girl. If you get to see me someday, you'll be like, yo, you look like you're taller, you look like you're bigger, but it's just the voice, yo. But if my voice was like my body, yo, I'm really tiny. But anyways, me being tiny like that, you would never think that I'll be the head girl or like the president of about 1,200 students at a mission boarding school in Zimbabwe. You would not have assumed that. Like, I thought it was impossible, but I told myself that I can do it. I had the motivation, I had the self-drive to do it, and I did it. But I just didn't do it for fun. I did it because I knew that I want to go places in future, and I needed that to be my stepping stone. Now, here in college, I'm the president of the 2 most diverse organizations on campus. I still feel like even like the things that I'm doing right now are preparing me for the future. And I have the motivation and the self-drive to continue doing it because I feel like they're preparing me for what's coming next. I'm not saying being a head girl is easy in high school. It's not, because you're with people of your same age. You're not controlling them, but you're trying to lead by example. You're trying to be a role model. So for me, that was like a learning point. For me, those were skills that I had to really learn and to like nurture in me. And now that I'm in college, I really see the use of all those skills right now. So in as much as it was a lot, there was drive. There was the zeal to want to do something. There was the motivation to want to do something. There were goals that I had, so many of them. There were dreams that I had, so many of them. So fast forward up until right now, I still have a lot of things going on in college. I am a biology pre-medicine major. I have 2 minors in maths and chemistry. I had to study for the MCAT. I am the president of the 2 organizations, like I said before. I am a resident assistant. I am juggling a lot of things on campus, but I am not going to give up because I came with the drive. I came with the motivation, and I came with the zeal, and I have goals. I want to get somewhere. I want to do an MD PhD and become a physician scientist someday. So I know very well that if I don't keep these 3 things, the drive, the motivation, and the goals, I will not get to places. I will not get to become someone else. So 10 years from now, I'll probably be making another video explaining how I got to where I'll be 10 years from now. Just like how I'm explaining how I got to where I am right now. So as we are going to interact and talk about work, talk about school, and talk about life, talk about balancing all of this, I really hope that you're going to bring in your motivation, you're going to bring in your goals, and you're going to bring in your dreams. Feel free to even share them with someone, share them with me, put them down on writing. It's always good to always have to look back and talk about it and inspire someone. So let's just continue to inspire each other. And I'm excited for the next video because you all are not ready. If you all want more videos, if you all want more stories, if you all want to hear more about how I did things, how I'm still doing things, then hit that subscribe button, press that like button, share, comment, turn on your post notifications, because you do not want to miss what the YouTube channel has in store for you. Love you guys. Bye.